Holla ballers and a bro fist to you all. It is that time again, and it's a usual time, 4 p.m. on a Friday in Team UK, and we're here to bring you drama time, to have some fun and have some joy, as what has been an extraordinary week where my team set me the challenge of the gauntlet. The clock is running out, and I have 3 more challenges to do. I believe 3 more challenges to do on their list, including Titanfall 2, Balatro, and Slay the Spire. But the clock is ticking and the weekend is here. So how that's going to go, I don't know. But if you had variety, we've had what? We had 7 games this week alone. 7 games in the last 5 days is what we've played. So all you MMO whiners can shut up, shut your mouth, shut up. But it's drama time. You send us stories and have done for many years from your weird and wonderful interactions that you have while you're out in that wonderful online world, and send them to us to have a little bit of fun, and also as a warning to fresh comers or people who are not aware of the weirdness that is going on out there. Maybe some red flags are showing, and it might sound very familiar to a situation you're in, and you can send them to drama@preachgaming.com. I always say everybody has a story to tell, whether you think it's boring or not. It's a unique experience to you, and you can send it in. But this week, our Bex is on vacation, although she's here, and she's having a little home staycation and doing decorating and things like that. So she can't remember, of the stories, which ones she prefers that she's read through, but they're all good. So I'm going to let the chat choose. This wonderful audience that joins us here on a Friday afternoon, they could choose. So I'm going to read you the titles. We have Noobdom. I'm scrolling. Noobdom seems to contain a lot of dialogue for me to reenact. Interesting. A wholesome story of 2 night elves in WoW. That sounds like ERP, but I don't know. Maybe it is just wholesome. The Troll Coup. We have a coup. Okay, so the Troll Coup. That's the 3 we have in front of us. Maybe we'll get to them all. I don't know. So you have those. The Troll Coup, Night Elves, and you have Noobdom. Those are the stories. There are stories. So I'm going to choose in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's pretty even. It's pretty even, Steven, from what I can see there. 2. Okay, more people are going 2. You want the Night Elves. Why do you want wholesome stories? Has drama time shifted? Is it a change in mantra? Is that what's going on here? Is now you guys prefer to have a nice, joyous Friday? Is your week so filled with horrors and terrors in the night that you now prefer me to regale you with something nice and happy? Maybe this is wholesome. I don't know. Wholesome Nelves, we'll call it. Wholesome Nelves. Yeah, we want cuddles. Oh, look, hey, we're here to have some smiles. I cuddle you all. Come to my loving embrace. Come here. Come closer. Yes. Yes, just there. Stay there, please. Thank you. Stay there. Have some fun. Don't touch me. Oh, this doesn't bode well, because it's a story about 2 night elves, yet there's only one name, and it's Braggart. Okay. Wonderful Braggart. Some people often say, how do you get in drama time? How do you get your name? These are the wonderful names of our audience. These are our website supporters who support all the different platforms we do and help to pay for the team putting all this together for you, and the tech and the mini games and the weird TTS tech they came up with today, which is an interesting piece of engineering, but it worked. It worked. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, a wholesome story, apparently. Preacher! I'm sat, as I type this, watching you and Jeeth the Beef cast the Race to World First. At this very moment, in between studying for med school, Echo just pulled off their P2 of Demencius and had just 10 seconds standing around on the first platform. You and Jeeth were discussing drama time on the heels of a donation. It reminded me I had a story to send to you that I hadn't submitted. So here it is. That's nice. Maybe I should plug my own shit more during, like, race and when I'm casting for people. Preacher and the audience, a bloody good day, mates. Just kidding. I am not Team Australian. I am from the superior nation of the US of A. Okay. Sus. Sus. I began with the Aussie greeting because the idea to write this story struck me listening to Season 9, Episode 10, the creators of that add-on. Oh, is that when we had the drama time story from the guys who made Gear Score? I can't remember. Was that it? I think that was the story of the people who made the Gear Score add-on in Wrath of the Lich King. Yeah, that was a dark day. I work 2 jobs. I'm saving up to propose to my girlfriend. Brother, send it, dude. Send it. You do want to spoil your lady on proposal day. I've had to buy 2 engagement rings in my life. The first one, obviously, and then Emma lost it. It fell down a drain. A few years after we were married, it fell down a drain. In her defense, she called me absolutely devastated. She genuinely thought it might be a blow to our relationship, like that I had she had lost the engagement ring. I didn't care. I'm not. My marriage is not dependent on her having her engagement ring. And thankfully, we did get it remade. They had the blueprints for it still at the place we bought it from, which was pretty cool. And I got it on discount. So while I'm working these 2 jobs, the Spotify archives of Drama Time are my best friend. I know most of the stories revolve around heartbreak or shit hitting the fans, as did with my Aussie friend. And so I figure I would share a story about camaraderie, helpfulness, me being total shit, and maybe preserve the memory of a friend who has died. Yeah, we are getting there, man. As World of Warcraft goes on into its coming up to the 3rd decade, yeah, more and more people are leaving us who we met through our online universe. Sucks. Really sucks. It really sucks. I've got a few now who have passed on that I met through World of Warcraft. Sucks, man. It really does suck. I want to rewind you all to just after the launch of WoW. Was this, 2005 maybe? A friend got me into the game and I was hooked immediately, as were most of us. Mind you, I was never allowed to have a console growing up. My parents thought it would ruin me. So at the age of 10, that vanilla cinematic captured my imagination and has never relinquished its hold. Despite school still being around and the loathing of World of Warcraft by my parents after they saw what it did to me, I just have to go back to Azeroth. So I now want to butter you up, Mike. I've come a long way since 2005. I'm a main tank in my heroic guild as a blood DK. Imagine not re-rolling to Biss tank. All my improvement and acquired game knowledge came from watching you. I watched the clicker to keybinder and it worked. How I customized my UI and everything in between. And I want to say thank you for making me much better and enjoying the game more. Oh, big hearts, big hearts. I'll never forget meeting you. Oh shit, in BlizzCon 2019. And for you taking the piss out of me for tanking as a vengeance demon hunter in Uldir. I already just did that in the paragraph before. Will you never play the good tanks? You seem to have an issue, my friend, of never playing what's good at the time. Sucking or ultra guilty. I mean, it is what it is. So let's go back to that WoW vanilla cinematic, the dwarf, and what do you think my hormonal, distracted 10-year-old male brain latched onto? The female night elf druid. I think there's something wrong with me. At no point have I found a cinematic, actually, sexy. Do you know what I played after I saw the WoW cinematic for the first time? And I tried to I tried to stay away from WoW. I thought it looked like actual childish dog shit. Like, genuinely. I did get in the beta, but we were playing a game that was like OG Helldivers. I just played Helldivers 2 today. I played the Dwarf Warrior. I thought the dwarf with his white beard and stout muscles, I thought he looked like an absolute beast. So my very, very first character was a Dwarf Warrior. I could tell you, honestly, I regretted that choice around level 20. I thought, this looks like total shit. This is so bad. But rolling a female character seemed dirty and lusty. And I didn't want my parents to think that I was getting weird. so I made a male Night Elf Druid. That's worse, though, isn't it? That just means you're gay, though. That's what they're thinking, right? You're trying to avoid the female Night Elf so you don't like a horny boy, but you made a male elf, so now they just think you're gay. Like, which one do you want? You gotta pick one. You gotta pick one. You gotta pick one, right? He's like, why are you wearing that why are you playing that Nelf for that tight ass? What's going on there, dude? What's going on in that dance? You're always looking at it. And I went on my merry way. Eventually, I joined a guild and continued my slog of a grind to level 60. It was in a guild. Oh, we got no guild name. Do you like a tight butt? I bet you do. It was in this guild I met a Night Elf warrior named Braggart. He was an older man. How wholesome is this? This older man and the 10-year-old boy. I don't like it. Yeah, I don't know, man. He was an older man who played WoW in his off time. He was an incredibly helpful guildmate. For example, once I completed the Demon's Fall in Ashenvale, I have fond memories of prowling around in cat form, scared I'd be found and murdered on sight by the Doom Guards and the Infernals. But I had no idea what to do when I finished those quests. Ah, yes. There was that weird period. I doubt many of you experienced this, especially if you played Classic, because you knew what to do. But like in Vanilla, it was a real problem to run out of quests and not realize you needed to kind of go to the other side of the world to continue. I know my first character, I got stuck with the only quest left being that level 30 get male armor. It might have been a level 20 quest. It was just red. And I had no idea what the fuck to do at that point. I just got absolutely hard stuck. I remember grinding some zones for ages because I didn't know you could go to the other starting areas. Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. So I started asking the guild, and Braggart, the older man, offered that he would boost me through Scarlet Monastery's 4 wings. What is Scarlet Monastery? Where is Scarlet Monastery? How is Scarlet Monastery? I wasn't even level 40 yet. I hadn't left the northern 3 Night Elf zones of Kalimdor. Braggart said, come to Darnassus. So I returned to the World Tree and we began the trek to Theramore, to sail to Menethil, and then the run. In travel form, no mount for me, up to the eastern kingdoms of Scarlet Monastery. Man! I would give anything to get rid of my memory of WoW and play again and do that run. I don't think you can do it now, right? I don't think that's a rite of passage that even exists outside of Classic WoW. Like, that is a rite of passage for any player. Like, certainly the trip from Stormwind to Ironforge for the first time, where you go all the way through the wetlands and all that kind of stuff, man. That is such a... It is a genuine rite of passage that people go through to make that journey. It's usually like an hour long. It's fucking dangerous. It's scary. It's really fun, man. It's so fun. As I write this, I will never understand why we didn't hire a mage to portal us to Ironforge. This story's great. I'm getting so much nostalgia. I have never paid a mage for a portal. Not one time. I actually thought the people who charged for portals were fucking assholes. Even though they were using... I think they used a rune to do it, so they were paying something. I have never in my life paid a mage for a portal. I would rather spend 3 hours fucking walking somewhere than pay for a portal. I always thought those guys were assholes. Every time. Even though they were technically, like, fine to do it. Yeah, it's like 18 silver. They would charge, like, 50 silver or a gold or something like that for a portal. To this day, I still remember that journey and cherish it. I think we all do. All of us who ever made that journey, we all remember their first time of getting snacked by an alligator or something. Braggart would mount up on his epic armored lightsaber and charge ahead, mowing down any mobs in front of me. Oh, you did it like a pussy, loser. Then my sorry ass would follow behind at a snail's pace, praying I could get through before all the monsters respawned. We, of course, eventually reached Scarlet Monastery, and he clobbered his way through all 4 wings, funneling me all the loot, all the gold. I was just here for experience. I eventually, of course, hit level 60, but because my dad was military, I had to move, and was unable to play until later in the Burning Crusade, a couple of years later. I did manage to hit level 70 and buy my first level of flying. Soon after, I became, and to this day remain, a mount collector. You poor bastard. Oh, and Blizzard milks you. I bet you've got a Hogrus, haven't you? Yeah, I bet you poor bastard. Oh, Blizzard loves you guys. Loves you guys. Just one more mount? Just $100? What, you not going to have it? Makes your number go up. Makes your little mount number go up. Are you sure you're not going to buy it? I spent the back half of the Burning Crusade grinding all the reps, BGs, TBC factions for their mounts. And one day in Arakar Forest, grinding rep for the Mana Ray, Quick Preacher Pop Quiz. Which factions sold the Manta Ray mounts in the Burning Crusade? I have it. It was the Skyguard, right? Skyguard? And I've got a highlight here for the answer. I think I'm right, Arthur, and you're wrong. I think. Because your answer is the Shatari Defense. I think it's the Shatari Skyguard. I think you are incorrect. I don't know, though. It's Skyguard, right? It's the Shatari Skyguard. So get fucked, Pop Quiz Boy. Preacher's correct. Yeah, I did do everything in the Burning Crusade. That was the last time I grinded every rep in an expansion because it was not worth it. I'll tell you what killed it for me. This is going to be a story time, drama time for you. I grinded every single rep in the Burning Crusade to Exalted. And the last one I did was in Grand. And it was horrible. I had to grind some cave over and over again. I can't remember why. Maybe it was just the mobs game rep or something. And once I got Exalted, the reward was like a camel or a fucking yak or something. And it was awful. Tabulk. Yeah, for the Tabulk. Yeah, that thing. And I was like, I don't even want this. This is shit. This is horrible, and I'm never going to use it. And the only reason I was doing it was to make all the bars in my character pane look nice. And it was during TBC that I ended up swapping to a different character for the guild anyway, and they didn't have, like, account-wide reps. So I lost all the work I did. I never, ever did it again. Hard done. I was like, I'm never doing this again. This has taken me so fucking long, and I don't even want what it gives. All I wanted was the bars to be all blue. That's it, and it's not worth it, and I'm never doing it again. I hope I get to hear you try to answer this live. You got it wrong, dickhead. Anywho, Braggart logged on, and I whispered him, hello! It had become quite some time since I had spoken to him. He gave me a vent server and I hopped in. We exchanged pleasantries. So how old are you now? Like 12, I guess? We exchanged pleasantries and I told him where I was in game and what I was doing. I also mentioned the gold grind for my epic flying. Braggart sent me a group invite and then flew out to meet me and just gave me the gold to buy my training and a red armored griffin. I was awestruck, absolutely dumbfounded. I had spent maybe even a couple of weeks at that point farming a few hundred gold. And he just traded me thousands. How much was it? 5k? I think it was 5k. I know he's saying it was a lot, but I don't remember ever struggling to buy it. And this was before I was boosting people and stuff like that. I didn't like mostly TBC kind of take care of your gold issues. I don't remember. Like, I don't remember it ever being really a problem to get. Not like epic riding in vanilla. Epic riding in vanilla was a fucking nightmare. Yeah, maybe I was just like seasoned. I remember, I know what I did. I did Elemental Plateau. Yeah, and sold it to all the cloth crafters because they were making all their like stupid armors. So I think I just grinded Elemental Plateau for a few hours and I was done. I had thousands of gold. I literally stammered. A myriad of thanks. Are you sure? Really? What do you want? And he was fine. He never asked for anything. He helped me murder a few of the Arakoa before heading out, but we chilled out in vent talking. I found out a few months later Braggart had cancer. Oh, this is a really sad story. I don't recall the Typod stage, but it wasn't looking good. And that was the last time I ever saw or spoke to him. I'm not sure if any of you other listeners knew this kind of Night Elf warrior. But if they do, and they did experience meeting someone like that in-game, I hope they could share a memory with me sometime. And for everyone else, I hope you have a friend like him. Is that the end of the story? I hope you have a friend like him in WoW, or this friend to somebody else. The hysterical shit show drama stories are always so entertaining, but I believe it is these heartfelt tales that we remember long after the service will shut down, of the wonderful people we encounter while we're in the online world sometimes. This is just my little story, and I can't wait to see how this Race to World First is going to end. Ah, yeah. That's so weird, is reading a story written before the end. I mean, it ended in... I'm not unhappy. I might be wearing the shirt, actually, but I'm not unhappy as to how the race ended. It was as dramatic as we could have asked for. It was a phenomenal race. It was close, if not the best ever. It was very, very good. Yeah. This is the first race I've watched since Dazar Allure. Oh, my God. Jesus, fuck, that was a long time ago. Yeah, it was a great race. No issues there. Oh, what a lovely story. That was a nice story. I agree. I don't remember the dead, sadly. Remember the fun stuff, and certainly anybody... Has anybody ever done anything really nice for someone in WoW? I don't think I have. Nothing that I think's really nice, anyway. I've given people millions of gold. I've given people ultra rare mounts because I don't want them and just pass them to people who really care. I've done all. Maybe that is nice, but I mean, I don't feel like I've done anything super, super nice. Maybe I have. I don't know. Okay, I think the second most popular story was the Troll Coup. Let's go there. So there's no name for this one. Okay. I showed up to the raid. It's one of those. I don't know if you... Like, for him, for the guy, for Braggart in that story, it might not have been, like, that big of a deal. You know, he might have had 70 or 100,000 gold. Like, not a big deal. Oh, I've given... Over the years... certainly since I stopped playing daily, I have given people millions of gold. To the point where I can no longer give any. I still get asked pretty regularly if, like, people can borrow gold from me. I've never seen a penny back. Never once. I had to stop giving gold out. Like, I can't, because I need this for like maybe the next 10 years. I just can't keep giving gold out, dude, because I never get any of it back. It never happens. So I've stopped. I've stopped. Okay, the Troll Coup. Let's see where we go here. Hello, Preacher! I want to take you to a tale at 2006. Oh, this is chronologically in order. I want to go to the twilight of Vanilla WoW. Everyone was buzzing because the Burning Crusade was on its way and it was going to be the second coming. But before I get there, I need to explain to you my situation. Back in the year of our Lord, where all the computers crashed and nothing worked, 2000. Ah, yes. Enos might know the answer to this. How many billions of dollars were wasted on Y2K? Some of you here in the tech industry, I know you are, but how many billions of dollars were wasted on Y2K? It was not wasted. I don't know, dude. It was not wasted. Nothing happened because it was fixed globally on every single piece of computer. Genuinely, I need some research on that. I don't remember anything globally going wrong at all. I don't know about that. People put severe effort into change stuff. All right, we'll see. I'll have to do some home research on that. As my understanding was, like, it was just a constant tech scam and it was not a problem. It was approximately 300 to 600 billion. It wasn't wasted truly because a lot of code was fixed, but not as many systems as people feared. 2038 is the next Y2K. I mean, we were all waiting for every system to crash because that's what we were told was going to happen. And then nothing happened. Anyway, in the year 2000, I had this gaming buddy. We mostly played FPS flavor of the month, as most kids do. You know the ones, shoot anything that moves, reload, repeat. Then in 2003, EverQuest Online Adventures arrived on my PlayStation 2. Mind you, we didn't have PCs. MMOs were some strange, mythical computer nerd invention for the completely socially inept. Haha, we've come a long way. But once we saw EverQuest, oh boy. Goodbye social life. Goodbye relationships. Hello to grinding and pure joy and happiness. Now, EverQuest Online Adventures had a lot of fun quirks for a first-gen MMO. Did it have mounts? Hell no. Dungeons for your group? Nope. The grind. Oh, it had a grind. Around level 40, it would take me 12 hours of mind-numbing torture to get maybe a quarter of a level. That was if your group didn't implode after the first 6 hours because one dude had to eat dinner and some girl's mum kicked her off on the dial-up. Riveting. I mean, it was the way it was. It was the way it was, dude. I mean, it was pretty normal to not be able to cap your characters in the early MMOs. It was pretty normal. I only ever knew, in the first MMO I ever played, Neocron, I only knew one character that had managed to cap his main stat. Out of everybody I ever met in that game, I only knew one guy who had ever managed to do it. And he had thousands of hours in that game. Thousands. And would just stand in the leveling area, just grinding away over and over again. What made it worse is if you wanted to respec, it took the experience away from you, so you had to regrind. If you wanted to move like 10 points, it would cost you something like 150 hours of grinding to do that. You had to take a pill. It was like a drug that would relieve your points, and that would make your character sick. So you would get something called LOM sickness, and then you would have to wait for the sickness to wear off in your apartment, because it had housing. You would go in your apartment, take drugs to respec, and then you would have to grind again for another 150 plus hours to get those 2 or 3 points back. It gave you like, it freed up 10 points from what you'd spec'd into, but only gave you like 7. And the 3 were lost. Fucking crazy. And let's not forget that we would train our new groups. That's when some saintly soul would grab the entire dungeon's worth of mobs. Oh, you mean, and kite them all like the Pied Piper straight into another group, wiping them instantaneously. It was a total scumbag move, but it did mean that you got all the experience and not them. Now, Mike, you might wonder, was I ever part of such a situation? Yes. But only when we thought it was definitely going to be funny. Aha. Wonderful. We did this masochistic ritual until 2006. And at that time, we had the best time. I loved it. However, of course, we were playing MMOs and the rumor mill was spinning. There was another game out there called WoW. And people were just gravitating towards it en masse. Every day we would log into our wonderful EverQuest and less people would be around. WoW is where they were going. And it was getting its first expansion that was containing some sort of demon character that was amazing. Yeah, he's right behind me. No, he's not. Where the fuck is Illidan gone? He's supposed to be behind me. I don't know where. I don't know where my Illidan statue is. He's somewhere. Oh shit! I've been yoinked. At first, we brushed it off because we didn't own PCs, so we couldn't even play. But the hype became so insane that we just had to. We got PCs from our parents specifically to play WoW and the Burning Crusade. And Christ. Playing WoW after playing EverQuest was like visiting gaming Disneyland after living in prison yard with soap everywhere. We got mounts, dungeons that you weren't getting griefed in, leveling that didn't take actual geological eras. It was just everything we wanted. Isn't that fucked up? All that stuff you're talking about was one of the reasons I didn't want to play World of Warcraft. It just sounded like a kiddie game. It sounded so childish. Like, you can't get griefed, and you can't go griefing. You have only PvE to get loot from. You don't even lose experience. It was like an absolute soft baby game. It was crazy what it looked like for me. Compared to what we were playing at the time, it looked like it was just for kids. Little kids, like, oh, we're all playing Night Elves, and we're all, like, friendly, and we're not going to hurt each other and steal from each other. Ugh. Eventually, my buddy's work friend, Emo Line Master. Oh, on that note, this is a side subject, sorry, and I want this to our audio listeners as well. if you are an old school Eve player involved in like one of the major corporations, could you reach out to us some way, mainly through Bex? We have questions for you. That's all. Bex wanted me to put that out there. I just remembered. Okay. Eventually, my buddy's work friend invited us to his guild. A huge guild. A massive operation. It had 4 members. It had my orc shaman, my buddy's undead warlock, his work friend's hunter, and his hunter's friend, a troll priest. It was a pretty cracked roster of top-notch heroes that had no tank. No problem. I said my shaman has threat bonuses and wears mail armor. And so it was volunteered to be our group's tank. I came up with a winning formula, my friends. I would pull the enemies and spam heal myself. It was the most fun, honestly. But this isn't a tale about our tragic excuse for dungeon runs. I want to tell you about something we can all relate to. Good old loot drama. Loot drama. Fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Crazy. Loot drama is fucking crazy. I don't know what the worst loot drama I've ever been a part of is. Oh, that I witnessed. I've never been a part of a loot drama. I don't care. Never did. I've never ninja'd anything. I've never cared enough about loot in the game to ever like steal or to rip people off. I think if I really think about it, but it's not technically loot drama, but kind of is. Getting someone their Dragon Wrath who had been in the guild for maybe 7 years, failed one of his objectives to get a crystal for his Dragon Wrath. It was his turn to get it, and the boss was at like 2% when he said I failed it. And then he says, can you wipe it? And I think the guild leader said no. And he quit the guild immediately. And we thought he was joking. He wasn't. He wasn't joking. He just quit the guild immediately. Because the boss was on like 2%. It was dying from dots. And then he went, it's not worked. I haven't got it. So we're like, well, we'll get it for you next week. And he just quit the guild. Like, was done. He came back after like 4 days. Like, they got him back. But I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Like, we did everything for you, and somehow you fucked it up and didn't tell us towards the end, and then you did that. Yeah, it was crazy. I was actually taken aback that someone cared so much. And the other one, I might have told this before, but there was legendary daggers in some of the tiers. Dragon Soul, I want to say. Rogue daggers. And I was the melee officer. Yeah, Dragon Soul. I was a melee officer. And so we had 2 rogues who had been in the guild for since vanilla. And this was Dragon Soul. So what's that, like 10 years? They'd both been there for that long. And so I just got them both into whatever we're using, TeamSpeak, whatever, comms. I got them into comms. And I said, boys, like, it's going to be one of you 2, but I'm not sure how I'm supposed to pick. Because you've both been here for like 10 years. So I wanted to get you guys in because you're adults, right? These guys were like 30 years old. I was like, do you guys want to figure it out? Does one of you care more than the other? Because it's just going to go 1 or 2 the other way you go. Yeah, do you want to roll for it? And then one of them was like, we can just roll for it. It's not a problem. And fuck me, did the other guy not get happy with that? He was like, no. And then he went, I think he said something like, in 2007... you took a break for 6 months and I didn't. So technically, I've been playing for the guild longer and raiding with them longer than you. And I heard this and I was like, this can't be real. Like, there's no way this is... there's no fucking way this is happening, right? I really do. Now, the other guy was like, I mean, I had to go to university and do my exams, and it's not like I left the guild. I was still around. I just couldn't raid. It was like, well, I raided. And I just was like, guys, you need to sort this out. Like, I've been in the guild. I think I've been in the guild like 6 months, something like that. I've been here 6 months. I don't care either way. but you guys need to sort it out. I was like, why don't you two deal with this and then just let me know so I can pass it on to leadership who's getting it, or you can just whisper the guildmaster or whatever. And they're like, no, we're sorting it out now. And I was like, well, and then they're like, well, what do you think? I was like, you should roll for it. I don't think 6 months is about. I was like, is this really happening? In the end, they rolled for it. And thankfully, the guy who had an actual problem with it won the roll. And so it was just like GG. But if it would have gone the other way to the guy who took a 6 month break fucking 5 years ago or whatever, oh my God, I would hate to think what would have come out of that. And I don't think I would have been in the wrong. Like when the guild master was like, what the fuck did you do? I'd be like, this is what happened, bro. Like, what do you want me to tell you? I don't agree. How do you guys feel about this? I don't agree with giving loot to someone because they throw the biggest tantrum. That's the only time I'll be like, I think I deserve it. Because fuck you. If you're going to throw a tantrum and it's equal, there's an equal reason for you to for somebody to get something that's important, you know, like a weapon or a trinket or something like that, and you start kicking off, like, nah, man, that's when I'm going to step in and start being a real fucking dick. Like, fuck you. Grow the fuck up. Yeah, overcolored pixels. Yeah, I've had people cry. For sure. I've had people cry. Like, because they lost a roll or the loot council didn't give it to them. But they, yeah, like fucking crazy. Like, actual real life tears. Why? I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I wish I could tell you why. I don't know. I have no idea. I often think that officers exist in WoW just to make sure that any super item can be, like, easily distributed first. Yeah. Fuck it. Okay. Anyway, that was a little side story. I'm sure you've all got loot stories. You see, our friend the troll priest was cursed. Cursed from the briny depths, my friends. And what was that curse? He fucking always won rolls. Every goddamn time. It was god tier RNG. It was ridiculous. His luck when it came to rolling for items was fucking rigged to the ends of the time. It was outrageous. That guy rolled like he had some add-on installed to completely rig the system. Nobody said much at first. I figured, hey, I've just had bad luck. But my buddy, he crashed the fuck out. He started spiraling. He convinced himself that this priest had hacked the rolling system. It was the only way it made sense. To this day, I still have no idea how he thought that would look. Did the priest change the game files on the /roll command? Install luckyloot.exe? Who the fuck knows? But he was convinced he was doing something. Because he had convinced himself of a loot roll hack, he became obsessed by it. He was thinking about it all the time. It became full on. Every item that dropped, my buddy would just sit his character down in-game with his back to us, emoting like a jilted lover. It would just say, Warlock, figures, ... Or Warlock, well, what a surprise, exclam. Over and over again. Meanwhile, out of game, he was ranting at me relentlessly. All right, who's going to be the troll here? Let's pick the biggest arsehole. Miyu. Perfect. Could be our troll for this one. He was ranting to me that Miyu was absolutely cheating. And I was insane for even daring to suggest it might just be luck. Let's go forward to the holiday season, about a month before the Burning Crusade arrives. We're in Blackrock Depths when something amazing drops. In Blackrock Depths, that a priest wants. So it's not the extra swing trinket. It's not the Iron Foe, the epic. Yeah, it can't be Hand of Justice for a priest. It's not that. Healing trinket? Well, why would the Warlock want that? It's got to be something for a caster. I'm at 4 months without an item. Well, Miyu, today your luck has changed. I can't tell you exactly what it was. But when my Warlock friends saw it, it was like oxygen. And you guessed it. That troll priest rolled and got a 100. His entire universe collapsed around him. It was like that one roll was that metaphysical straw, the metaphorical, that you could physically hear snapping that camel to the floor through the screen. Pure silence when he saw the 100 in the chat log. My buddy logged off so fast it looked like he alt F4'd. His work friend half-heartedly mumbled, he probably DC'd. But we all knew. We all knew he had rage quit. We sat there for 30 seconds. And all I could think of typing, Grats. And left the group to get on with my own things. Here's the thing, though, that I want to put to everybody here. If you have God tier luck, and you have had streaks, you know you have. You've had streaks, and somebody's going to be real sourpuss and say, no, it's never happened. But you've had streaks where you get, like, you've had a good run, you get loads of stuff. Do you not roll on an item to try and smooth things out? Do you try and smooth things out a little bit and like, okay, I'm not, no, it's fine. I've had plenty of loot. I'm not going to roll on it. Right? Fuck that. I have done that. I felt a little like a dick if I'm getting like really lucky. Fuck no. Always roll. No. Maybe if it's not Biss. Biss is a different question. It's Blackrock Depths, so it's not going to be Biss, certainly for trolls or whatever. I won 8 epics in vaults once and I gave up on loot for a month. Yeah, I've done that. If it's just like blatantly ridiculous that I'm getting all the stuff and it's equal and we're all looking at stuff, I've definitely gone like, no, it's fine, dude. I've had plenty. Like, I'm totally okay with it. I've had loads of loot. It's all good, dude. Especially from a 5-man. Like, who cares? It's not like you're chasing some Mythic plus fucking mega trinket, right? This is Blackrock Depths we're talking about. Like, who cares? Where were we? Okay. The next day, the whole guild was gone. Vanished. I asked my buddy about it. He admitted to me that he had rage quit so hard that he thought World of Warcraft was over. He told his work friend that he couldn't play in a guild run by such a greedy fuck like Miyu. I don't know whether that work friend of his took it well or not. I never found out. All I know is that that was the end of our 4-man saga. The friend never mentioned the hunter or the priest afterwards, and they disappeared. Miyu walked off into the sunset with all her loot. So when the Burning Crusade launched, we were now guildless. Not because of some massive guild implosion or dramatic betrayal, but because my friend couldn't emotionally process a troll priest winning dice rolls. Oh, that was the end. So Miyu killed the guild. All right, let's lose this with one story. Oh, we can do all 3 stories. Why not? This one's got a lot of dialogue in it. Miyu kills the guild yet again. All right, here we go. Names are short. So the way we work it, yes. If it's a big character, we get our wonderful website supporters in. But if you're in momentarily, I will just pick from the chat as we go. Our live audience. I like that Miyu said, I got my loot, who cares? Oh my god. Okay. Hello, Bex. Hello, Preach. Hello, Nups. And perhaps even a salute to the elusive ninja who stealths through the background like Bigfoot. Oh, yes. I don't have one singular little tale to warrant a full drama time, but Mike, have I been involved in many, many moments across time that are worth hearing. Before I bring you the snippets, it is important to know where I hail from. I know that there's now a drama thing of guessing people's nationalities, so here are the clues. Pigs, flat, windy, sausage, progressive, and rich. Netherlands? Denmark. It was rainy last time I was in Denmark. I don't know about that. Denmark? You're famous for your sausages? You see, I go Germany for the sausages. The flatness, I go for the Netherlands. Is Denmark as flat as the Netherlands? Huh. The answer, of course, is Denmark. Round of applause to our Dane brains in the chat. Lots of Danish around here. Tale number 1, my friends. My older brother was a fucking pro in Wrath and Kata. Okay. With world firsts and shit. Who was world first in Wrath of the Lich King? Insidia? And Paragon. So you weren't in Paragon. Your brother wasn't in Paragon because you're Danish. So maybe Insidia? I would know them if you tell me. He was hesitant to ever let me play WoW because I may run into weird people saying weird, inappropriate shit. Which he understood well and understood that was true because I was 9 and he wasn't. Yeah. I don't want my kids playing WoW. They've asked me now. They've asked me if they can play WoW. I have denied them. Eventually he cracked though and let me play because I was annoying. Yes. This was during Wrath of the Lich King. He stood behind me, guiding me through everything as we went through servers. I asked, why isn't there any dedicated Danish servers? Oh, come on. You know why. All right? You know why. A dedicated Danish server. Jesus Christ. He said our country is too peasant and nobody ever thinks about us. I said, okay, unhappy, and picked an English server to play on. He then spent many minutes explaining to me each of the classes. The moment he mentioned druids changing into animals, I ignored him completely and knew where I was going. When I picked the druid, he said it was a good choice because of how shapeshifting can get you out of CC. I didn't understand what that meant. I did know I could turn into animals. He left me at his General Lucifer for a few minutes to explore. His General Lucifer? What is that? He left me at his General Lucifer for a few minutes to explore Teldrassil. I assume you mean his PC? His General Lucifer. To explore Teldrassil and try to figure shit out on my own. A character? That's a sub, isn't it? A character name? I don't know. It just says he left me at his General Lucifer. Not sure. PC. To try to figure out shit on my own. I remember being scared shitless when suddenly a giant spider came running at me trying to kill me, whereas all the other mobs had waited patiently for me to attack first. I swore off ever leaving the starting area ever again. That, of course, lasted a couple of days. Eventually, I got my own account and created an identical Night Elf Druid, but I also created every single race, gender, and class combination so I could watch their animations. That's fucking pro move, by the way. That is legitimately a pro move. I spent more time, I think, choosing which Blood Elf to roll my Paladin in the Burning Crusade than I'd ever spent on a character creation screen in my life. I jumped around, I fucking stealthed, I did all kinds of shit, and concluded, male Blood Elves are terrible. I made one anyway. Made one anyway. I remember running around for ages as an undead male trying to find water so I could see the swimming animation. When I finally saw it, I was deeply disappointed and disgusted with the entire race. Fucking kidding me? Due to all these alts I was creating, it took me 2 weeks on my own account to reach level 8. That's fucking brutal. 2 weeks to reach level 8. While leveling my Night Elf, I met another Danish person called Furion. This felt like finding a needle in a haystack. Are you kidding me? Wait till you get to raiding. The Danes are everywhere. They're like a fucking virus. I'd been constantly annoying and hounding my brother about, what does this say? What does this do? I don't understand what this game is, and I'd never meet anyone else in game who spoke Danish to translate the quests for me. This Dane and I... is there no Danish translation? Because I know there's German clients and French clients. Is there no Danish client? Even if you're on an English server, you can change the client. WoW doesn't have any Danish translation. Get fucked. Too small. Too small. No, there's like 5 million of them. Who cares? Just learn English, lol. Okay. This Dane and I spoke for maybe an hour until my mother and brother proclaimed that it was time to visit our grandparents. I protested and told them I finally found a friend in Fury and I wouldn't be able to find them again if I left now. They said, no, stop talking to freaks on your video game. We have to go and see grandparents. So I told Furion, wait here. I'll be back in 20 minutes. Of course, I had no concept of time at that age. Bro, I don't know when kids learn concepts of time. My son is in running club. He did a 6K run the other day. And I said, what time did you do it in? He said, about 2 minutes. And I went, well, that's not possible, is it? He went, I don't know then. Like, maybe 6 minutes. I was like, no. And then he went, I don't know then. Maybe like 15 minutes. I was like, son, you've gone from 2 to 15 in the space of 10 seconds. You have no idea how long it took you. Yeah, it was ridiculous. He just kept adding more time until that time sounded reasonable to me. Like, that's what I was asking. Like, give me a reasonable number that you did it in. That, whether it's true or not is irrelevant. And I didn't realize that sometimes things can feel like it takes 20 minutes when actually it took me 4 hours. On the way to our grandparents, I told my brother that Furion was waiting for me. I remember him sighing openly in the car after I said that. When I did eventually get back in the evening, Furion was nowhere to be seen. And I never found him again. You didn't remember the character name or anything. That would be the last time I would ever speak with Furion. So, eventually I would queue up for a dungeon, my friends. And when I zoned in, they'd already killed a few mobs. And the first thing I saw in chat in all capital letters was Swee. So I said, Swee? I thought that Swee was hello in English, since it was the first thing they had said as we loaded into the dungeon. There was then a long silence, and they started talking in some sort of demon language. So I said bye in all caps and walked out of the dungeon and left the group. Because one thing I did know is that bye meant farewell. Sweet and bye. Sweet, bye. Fucking hell. Mike, I wish to share something with you in the audience that not even my brother knows. For the next 6 months, I confidently typed Swee in every group I joined, believing I was saying hello. That's really cute. That's really, really cute. That is super cute. That's really cute. Like, he's actually trying to learn a new language. He's just like, Swee, hello. It annoyed me that no one ever replied in Danish. At this point, I was convinced that Furion must be the only other Danish person who was playing this game. Oh. As time went on, I wanted to create every single class and race combination to see which one was the best. Which one I should become a main on, as my brother described it. But one of them, of course, was grayed out by this time. It said I needed to have a level 55 character in order to play it. I remember playing Moonkin in Arathi Basin Battlegrounds. I was on the middle island, standing between the smithy and the bridge leading to the gold mine, and I hit level 55. I immediately quit the battleground and got the deserter debuff, logged off, and went to become the ultra hero, the Death Knight. It was still grayed out. This is the... This was the moment I realized that I needed to actually buy Wrath of the Lich King in order to play this brand new class. As I stared at my character creation screen, I logged back into my druid and waited out that character deserter buff. My birthday, of course, did roll around, and I was able to create a DK. I stood in front of that big floating triangle thingy, doing my rune forging, when I guess I did a /who of the area and whispered any poor bastard that I found. The first person I whispered, I remembered this conversation directly. DK? Question mark. No, I'm a mage. DK? Question mark. Oh, are you trying to say Denmark? No, I'm a mage, came the reply. But DK? Question mark. No, I'm not a Death Knight. I then realised, of course, that DK meant Death Knight in WoW and not Denmark. Denmark? Question mark. What? Came the reply. No, said the mage. I then put him on ignore as my brother had taught me how. This fucking kid is a terrorist. This kid is a terrorist. Sweet? DK? Question mark? No, just leave me alone, dude. Months and months after I began playing, I was at the dinner table with my mother and my brother. My father had left us. Not because of your WoW gameplay, I hope. I'm okay to make that joke because it says lol at the end. My father had left us lol. So, I mean, maybe. I saw my kids' clickers the other day, unfortunately. So, you know, considerations need to be made. I proudly told them that I'd almost reached level 80. My mother then said in a relieved tone, "Oh, good. So that's when the game's finished, right?" My brother then corrected my mother's misgivings. "No, that's when the game really starts." My mother, and I remember this as I tell you the story, Mike, actually looked upset. Aww. Fuck. Aww. Oh, mum's actually really... Because she can't take it away, right? You can't take it away now, and you know you're fucked up. And it's... fuck's sake. Eventually, of course, I did ding level 80. I was so relieved to have reached this massive, monumental milestone, and I was relieved that leveling was over. The grind was done. 10 days later, Cataclysm released. And I started leveling again. But, thankfully, the leveling in Cataclysm was pretty easy, and I got done very quickly. I had reached level 85 on my druid. I had now started to learn some English. How many of you here learn English because of World of Warcraft? I find it extraordinary. Like, not through school, not through anything else, just because, or even just through gaming. Like, it's actually extraordinary how many people kind of picked up on English. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if, legitimately, gaming is hella responsible for the rise of the English language across most of the globe. Like, outside of, like, yeah, Asia, you know what I mean? Like, it's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. And I wonder how much gaming and YouTube and fucking React Andy content is because of that. It's got to be a quite significant contributor. There's a university study on it. Look it up. I will do. I find it really interesting because it's like, it's like 2 years ago, English became the most spoken language in the world. And I wonder how much like gaming and just media in general, movies, you know, fucking Avengers and all that shit, all being done in English. I mean, I know there's translations of them, but people probably want to watch the OGs. Rurikhan learned it. I mean, not as much as the murdering and colonization. It's ages ago, John. Ages ago. I was level 85 on my druid. I knew a bit of English at this point, and I remember being extremely nervous to step into LFR. This was going to be my first raid. My brother, of course, had regaled me with stories of raiding. He was what they called a raid leader, and I could sometimes hear him bossing other people around. It sounded fucking wild, intense, high-level gaming shit. So, of course, I wanted in. I don't remember how, but somebody invited me to a guild. Mike, or Bex, this is where I'm so happy that you keep Drama Time anonymous. I did something that is so fucking cringe that typing it out makes me feel sick. Mike, this is the first things I did when I had a guild chat. Me? Okay, so when I say me, this is the author typing. Me. Exclamation mark, question mark. Me. Exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark. Me. Exclam, question, exclam, question, exclam, question. Me. Exclam, question, exclam, question, exclam, question, exclam, question. Dude, what the fuck? Someone typed. Exclam, 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 exclam. Exclam, question. Exclam, question, exclam, question, exclam, question. And then double that amount. Then double that amount again. All the way to exclam, question repeated 12 times. Bro, why is the new guy spamming? Exclam, 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 exclam. What are you doing? Exclam, question, exclam, question, exclam, question, exclam, question repeated, repeated. Exclam, question now 12 times. Oh my fucking God. What is this guy? 6 exclamation marks. Exclam, question, exclam, question. Then, the person who invited me to the guild and vouched for me, because we'd done a dungeon together, despite me being fucking 11 or 12 or whatever, whispered me, bro, stop spamming in the chat. It's super annoying. Sorry. Yeah, don't do things like that. Sorry, I won't. Wait, we don't have a reason why you did it? Oh, fuck you, dude. Wait, why did you do that? Wait, you were doing this intentionally? Why? I'm so confused. Why did you do... You can't leave it there. Why did you do that? Yeah, that was it. He was like legitimately at his PC typing this out over and over again. Why? He's Danish. It's the best answer I got for you, Mike. He's fucking Danish. He's super Danish. Dane brain behavior. Fucking Danes. I don't know. Like, it just says, okay, sorry, I won't. Oh, I don't vouch for anybody joining a guild ever again. I learnt my lesson in the Burning Crusade. I got like 5 people invited to our guild in Sunwell. They were all trash. They were good in our crappy guild. They weren't good in a good guild. I was like, I got so many whispers from the guild master like, didn't you say these guys were really good? I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what the fuck is going on, dude. I don't know. They were good in that environment. Let me say it like that. They were good in that environment. What's going on here? I have no idea. I have no fucking idea. Later on, I was still in the guild and I was doing whatever the fuck I was doing on my druid when they said in guild chat that a spot had opened up on the raid and asked me if I was willing to come. Inv, I said. Inv. But there never came an inv. Then whispers came saying, come on, bro, this is your last chance. We know you wanted to raid. Say something. Or they're just going to replace you with someone else. Aww. I went to whisper back, but it said person has put you on ignore. I didn't know how ignore works, so I started spamming in the guild chat. You've got me on ignore. Is he there? They typed. Maybe we get someone else. Guys, I'm on ignore. I want to raid. I'm here. Hey, warrior, do you want to come instead? The druid's not here. Guys! Guys! Yeah, bro, inv, said the warrior. I sat in silence for a bit watching them make a raid group in the guild chat. The next day, the person who had vouched for me originally whispered me asking why I didn't come to the raid. I explained that I tried to, but the people had me on ignore. They then told me that, oh yeah, that shit you did when you joined the guild, a lot of people put you on ignore. Sorry, that sucks. That's just really sad. I wonder how much this guy has been talking in guild chat normally since that day. And just nobody's read it. And he's just like talking away. I mean, fair, understandable. I would have done it too. But I also would have like asked, if someone joined the guild and that started happening, I would have thought there was a problem with their keyboard or something and put it on ignore. But I would have gone like, have they stopped doing it now or what? And then unignored them. Right? That's what you do. It's fine to put someone on mute if their like comms is fucking up or whatever. Sorry. Speak of the devil, it's my son. You got son?
Yo, you want to pick it up?
Where are you?
We're on the motorway now, so
Alright, I might be like 5 minutes when you get here, that's all. I'm just finishing driving time. I'll see you soon. Bye. I want to go forward now to Wall as a Draenor. I'm now fluent in English, and I've developed a Mancunian accent because of you. Bullshit. Bullshit. Despite knowing that I shouldn't join a trade chat guild because I had seen Drama Time, I did it anyway because fuck it. You recommended checking logs and doing a bit of research which sounded too technical and complicated. Go fuck yourself. I literally did it on stream the other day. It takes 2 minutes. 2 fucking minutes. It takes no time at all, man. I was 12 at the time, I think. That doesn't add up. Katy, you were 11? I had bought a microphone but rarely spoke because of my age. It made me so nervous, especially during my first raid with them. I was shaking at the keyboard and suddenly forgot how to play my character. Everything I did was an adrenalized blur. I was dead bottom of the damage meters. They carried my ass though. We cleared the first few bosses of Hellfire Citadel on Heroic, and then it became a real prog raid around the bird guy. Iskar. And they would also do the Draenei and Mech guy. On Iskar, I accidentally gave them the impression that I don't know left from right. They told me I was to drop something on the left. But my movement ability was on cooldown, so I made a quick judgment call and put it on the right. That would be the blades that need to be spread out or they kill everybody, right? I remember the tank keying up and saying, "This guy's shit." But I still to this day remember that what I did at the time was right in the moment. No, because you were out of position. No, I've taught you better than that. If something's coming that has to be dropped on the left and the right, you don't go and stand on the right. You stand in the middle. It was wrong. You are incorrect. You were out of position. I didn't have the confidence to try and defend what I did. The very next raid night, all the good players have suddenly vanished. Because of you? I also left after that raid because we were struggling on some bosses. Without the players who had been there the night before, they could no longer kill the first 2 on Heroic. Oh, Hellfire Assault Heroic wipes. Yeah, I would have given up too. Mike, I want to tell you all, this was the last moment I was a noob. From that on, I started to move forward in my life. I got better and better and better. And now, on this day, I do way better. It's all pro gamer shit from that moment on. And I know that because after that, I never joined a proper raiding guild again. So, you consider yourself great because you just never tried again, but you're pretty sure you'd be good. I'm now having to get rid of my General Lucifer. That must mean PC. Has to be. Because I've recently realized I have been addicted to gaming since I was 9 years old. And hopefully my life will become more than just staring at a screen from here on. I'm not ditching Drama Time though. I can still listen on my phone. Thanks to the team for making this show possible, and have a good one, folks. Oh, thank you. But I will also point out, if you haven't sold it yet, it's not a particularly good idea. Now, if you can't control yourself, I totally get it. But learning the discipline to not be addicted is better, because you might find yourself just really bored at nights. I'm saying this because a good friend, not to throw him under the bus, I found out recently when we were playing together that our friend Fingal, who used to temporarily work here, he helped us out over the course of Shadowlands, came on comms with us and had a really bad microphone. And I said, "What's going on with your mic?" And he was like, "Well, And I went, We bought you a microphone. I got him a microphone, a good one, and a Scarlett Solo and all this stuff, and a desk stand and all that because he was recording videos for us, right? For the channel. So we sent him a good microphone. He also tried to give up on all gaming and sold everything. He sold it all, the PC, the mics, the stands. He sold everything. And then about 4 months later, he said, I also just got really, really fucking bored at nights and just started to control my gaming in general. But he now has a PlayStation headset microphone, which is not ideal. It is not ideal. And also has begun playing Fellowship. Unlucky. Yeah, unlucky. So if gaming's your love and your passion, that's fine. Controlling it is a good idea. Controlling is a good idea. Yeah. It's controlling it. You have all this time when you finish work and stuff. But that doesn't bring out the drama time for today. Some wonderfully wholesome and fresh newbie stories for you to wash down over the weekend. Might be here over the weekend. If it is, it'll be Titanfall 2. I'll have to see what happens. I'll be doing a lot of stuff with my kids and my family and all that kind of stuff. We're doing something really lame and family-like called the bucket list meal thing. Something they saw online. Your last meal, like before you die, what would your last meal be? So they want to do that. Max wants to do what his last meal would be, where we cook up a 3-course meal as a family, and it's like the favorite starter, the favorite main course, the favorite dessert. So we're going to be doing that. So how much effort that is, I don't fucking know. Yeah, I haven't even decided what mine is. I have no fucking idea what it is. A Sandrap. Emma's getting rid of me. No. But for as it stands, I don't know. But I'm going to say goodbye because my family's waiting for me downstairs. Love you guys. Thank you for a wonderful week. Thank you for everything you did for the team today, by the way. All subs and bits went towards the team for putting together the gauntlet. I'm running out of time, so we'll see. Otherwise, there is a crazy forfeit. And speaking of forfeits, I did fail one of my challenges this week. So if you haven't seen on the PG Discord, my forfeit is that you guys get to choose the cosplay I will use at FanFest. It has to be FF14 related. I believe the Corn Servant is winning. If you wish to place your vote, just react to the suggestions. I believe Corn Servant is winning. But check the Discord for that. Yeah, I know. If you have suggestions, don't tell me. It's on the PG Discord. Just exclam, I'll do it here, exclam Discord. You can find it on there on the weekend. And if you're online, it's Preach Gaming Discord, or just go in my live stream and type exclam Discord, even offline, and you will get the link. Bye, everybody. It's discord.gg/preachgaming. It's not hard to find. See you, everybody.